Well, happy Friday, everybody. Today is Freedom Friday. Paul Romero here with the Swiss Gold Global Independent Business Owner Network Marketing Training number 158. Excuse me one second. Okay, I hope that this broadcast is coming across properly because Google seems to be acting up on my end, but we'll just have to see how that goes. Hopefully you guys are seeing it fine without all of this, what looks to be disruption and stopping and starting and all that fun stuff. Sorry. Again, as I've said many times before, I cannot do two things at once. I cannot text and talk. I don't know how people can do that, but you look at put that little thing in front of your face and I've got something in my eye. Put that little thing in front of your face, in front of my face anyway, and start looking at the little buttons to push and thinking about how to spell a word and what I'm trying to think about at the same time. And you know what? That's all I can do. Words stop flowing out of my mouth at that point in time. So the interesting thing here is I think we wanted to pick up from Wednesday's conversation, but it was such a heated conversation and I was a little bit discombobulated, I guess. I didn't have my notepad out, so I can't even recall what the heck we talked about on Wednesday. I know we were looking at the website, doing all of that, and today I'm going to talk about, it's Freedom Friday, and I'm going to talk a little bit about freedom because that's the reason why I'm a little discombobulated this morning, is that my body felt like sleeping in a little bit. I joined a gym, let's see, this was 3 weeks ago. Well, I joined the gym probably about 5 weeks ago, and I signed up for a personal trainer, which started 3 weeks ago, and went in the very first day and set me up with a routine. And then I went in the second day, and we added some stuff. No, we changed that routine up a little bit. Then I went in the third day and he had me do something completely different. And that was on Wednesday. That was on a Wednesday. So every Wednesday I do more of this routine with him. I'm only seeing the trainer. I'm only with the trainer 1 day a week. The other 2 days out of the week, I go in there with the initial routine that he set me up on, do that on my own, and on Wednesday I have the trainer there with me to basically push me to do more than, to quite honestly do more than what you will do on your own. I mean, most people, I know I'm one of them, given the opportunity to do something on your own, you feel like you're pushing yourself, but in reality, that you have a limit and you have a hard time pushing yourself beyond that limit. And it might be a physical limit that you actually can push yourself beyond, but mentally you will allow yourself to talk yourself into the fact that you can't go beyond that limit. It's a very interesting thing. However, had the trainer been standing there, not even pushing you verbally or telling you to go or whatever, it's human nature to want to please other people. So just their presence standing next to you would, in and of itself, push you inside mentally and physically to go beyond that limitation that on your own you will establish, and you won't go beyond. It's very, very weird. I've noticed this, and I noticed it like in the middle, towards the end of the second week is where I kind of noticed it. At first, I do have a physical problem, that I'm going to have looked at here, but it does limit me to a certain extent. So, but so I did have something physically off that second week that didn't allow me to do a specific exercise almost at all, especially on one side, because it's a do one leg and then do the other leg thing. So it almost completely inhibited me from doing my right leg. So, but I pushed it. I did as much as I could. I think I got between like 5 and 7 reps before I legitimately just could not do another one on my right leg. Now, on my left leg, I was able to do that number rather easily, which tells me, obviously, like I said, something was off. And, I've had some back issues in my life, and the thing that I'm dealing with now is in the upper abdominal on the right side. So between the combination of those two things, yeah, something was wrong at that point in time. It's corrected itself over. It was really tough for a Monday and a Friday that week. Even the workout with the trainer was tough. But since that, it seems to have corrected itself somewhat. My last time out, I was able to do the 10 reps on the right leg. And, obviously still on the left leg, it's easier. But the other exercises that follow with that, I know I can do more. I start to feel the burn, and I'll work through the burn to a certain point. But in my mind, I'm starting out, I'm going to do 20 reps, but I'm burning by rep number 13. I'll do 12 and 13, maybe four. I'll do, I'm burning by rep number 12 or 13. So I'll do 14, I'll do 15, maybe 16 or even 17. But then instead of pushing through those last three, it'll be like, oh, that's all I can do. You know what I mean? But however, if the trainer was there, he wouldn't even have to push. He wouldn't even have to be saying, go, go, you got 3 more to go or anything like that. But I would do the other 3. It's a weird thing. So where was I going with that? The whole freedom thing. Excuse me, I got a little wake up in my eye because I did wake up a little bit late this morning, which is where the freedom thing I was talking about. Because of Wednesday's workout, yesterday especially, my gosh, my body was I know it has to do with this injury back problems that I have, and of course also lack of any type of real workout sort of program or exercise program for a very long time in my life. In fact, realistically, I probably haven't had a regular workout routine for about 30 years. So yes, obviously working a physical labor job, you feel like you're getting a workout each day, but I'm coming around to find out that the workout that I was getting at this job has really thrown my body off. I don't know if everybody thinks this way or if it's just me, but in my mind, my body is a very centered machine, and that, this side should be very equal to this side. There should be no difference, that everything should be the same from one side to the other, that it should be perfectly centered, perfectly aligned. Each side should be able to feel like it should, match the other side, kind of thing, kind of like a Twix, right? Left Twix and right Twix is how I feel like my body should be. And doing these workouts, I don't feel that way. I keep feeling, and it comes in different locations, I keep feeling that one side is able to do something differently than the other side in this location today, but then the next, it's not in this location. Now it's in this location. And then the next week when I come in, it's not even on this side. It's this side that feels differently than, so I feel like that 30 years of non exercise, non focus on my body, has caused me to be so far off in so many areas with so many different little not the big biceps or the quads, or even though those are off as well too, but the little muscles, the little things in the weird places that you don't think about, feel, or use on a regular basis. Those are the ones to me that it feels like, okay, today on the left side, on the outside of my left knee, feels like it's so much weaker than the outside of my right knee. But then tomorrow it'll be like the over here on the right side of my forearm, below the elbow, feels so much weaker and different than over here. Or the following day it'll be in my back, or it'll be in the upper thigh on the inner side of the groin. Just like all these weird places, the bottom, not in the calf, but down by, right above the ankle. Just like all these weird places that, today I'm feeling like this is different than that. And a very, very interesting little exercise a stretching exercise that I do prior to my workout that really, and I notice this too when I'm doing my workouts. I'll start with my feet, perfectly straight, or maybe I'll start with them, cocked just a little bit like this for a better balance, whatever. But as I'm doing my workout, I'll notice that my left foot has a tendency to move out farther and change from where it started. And if I start out straight, when I get done, my left foot will be sort of like this. So why is that? Why does my left foot want to drift out like that, where my right foot has a more stable, straight base? But then again, why is my right leg so much weaker on doing that one-legged squat kind of a thing than my left leg? Just all these weird things. But I've felt over time, just even over these 3 weeks, like working, and to me it feels like we're sort of working from the outsides, from the extremities in towards the core. Like my stomach area hasn't really gotten, not like we're working on getting a six-pack there right away or nothing like that, but it feels like we're sort of working from the outside in. The bigger muscle groups, the bicep, tricep, sort of upper shoulder area, the upper legs, the quads, the front and back, the glutes, those sorts of things. Like we're working the larger areas towards the center. And so each and every time I go in, it's a unique experience. And like I said, I was so sore yesterday, and not really sore, but it's a hard one to explain. But it was in my sort of groin and hips and lower back area, and it was just, I guess, maybe a tightness, maybe a stiffness or a soreness from the workout, that I just had to lay in bed in the morning and just stretch, and sort of squeeze my buttocks muscles, my glutes together, and stretch, and feel like, almost felt like I was like totally out of alignment, but then, by stretching and squeezing, that it would line up and get this real sort of ecstasy type of a feeling, body rush through. It was so interesting to feel that. But again, doing that sort of felt like it was like centering things. And I literally, I literally wasn't out of bed yesterday till 9 o'clock, almost 9:30, because no, it was 10 o'clock. That's right, it was 10 o'clock. I had to actually, I mean, I got up, I started doing some things, etc., but I had to go lay on the bed. And in that course of laying on the bed, I sort of dozed in and out a couple of little times, but yeah, I had to just lay on the bed and relax, and then stretch and roll and twist, and take a new position, and just like stretch everything out again, as it would it was like sort of like I felt like I was a slinky or something. Like I kept compressing down, and then I'd have to stretch it out again. And that's when it would feel great, like it was all in line, and then it would sort of shrink down, and feel like it got into the wrong spot, and I'd have to stretch it out again. And then that's when I would feel like I was all in line, and that like that feeling of that ecstatic rush through the body kind of a thing, is when I stretched it out. And it took like an hour to work through that. But then when I finally got up, it was like sort of a slow process. I really started out in sort of a slow fog, but as the day went on, obviously I got sharper and quicker, and feeling really good. But again, this morning, same kind of a thing, not as long, but my alarm goes off at 6. I don't use a snooze button. I just set 2 alarms. It goes off at 6, it goes off at 6:30. Generally I'm up before the alarm goes off. But if the alarm goes off at 6, I'm like, hey, I know it's 6 o'clock. Do I need to get up right now? Or, do I want to get up right now? That's really, it's a choice. The thing is I don't have to get up right now. It's 6 o'clock. I know mentally, hey, it's 6 o'clock. I know 30 more minutes, my alarm's going off. And I know at 7 o'clock, there is something I want to be up for by 7 o'clock. Like I say, generally before the alarm even goes off, I'm getting up and I'm doing my thing. But when I'm on the days when it goes off at 6, I might be going, oh, 6 o'clock. All right. I feel like I'm going to get out of bed now and start my day. Or you know what? I'm going to wait for the next one at 6:30, and I'll wait for the next one at 6:30. And the nice thing about that is the snooze button. Just if you have a snooze button, stop using it. Buy another alarm clock and set 2 alarms. Seriously, set them for 30 minutes apart, because that 10-minute snooze thing, oh, that is it's like multitasking. It's actually bad for you as far as your being able to. If you're going to doze back off again, take the time to get into a relaxing sort of a sleep position where you can actually gain some ground. The 10-minute snooze thing is like, okay, that's off. I got 10 minutes. Just as you're about to gain some ground, it doesn't do anything for you. Just as you're about to gain some ground on your sort of, I got to get another 10 minutes of sleep, you really probably need 20 minutes. So just as you're starting to gain some ground on that, really get into the point of, where you're actually going to go into a sleep mode and gain some ground on the sleep that you need, boom, that snooze button goes off. And so you didn't get anywhere. It just wasted 10 minutes out of your life. It didn't help you any. It just wasted some time. So anyway, that's what I do in the morning. But what I was getting at here is the fact that I don't have to get up to be somewhere, because I've made a trade of my time with somebody, and I've obligated my time to someone else. And the worst part about doing that is that it's this someone else, some stranger, somebody that you maybe never knew before, who sets the value of your time, sets the value of your worth in this world for the time for your own time that you're willing to give them for a compensation. And they're the ones that establish your worth. I don't know about you. My time is the most valuable thing that I have on this planet, is my time. And I feel that the value that my time has is far greater than any other person is going to, be willing to. Well, I won't say be. Let me rephrase that, because there are people who would be willing to compensate me for my time at the value to which I set my time to be worth. There are plenty of people out there who will do that. So that's not really where I was getting at. But when I make a commitment to trade my time in an employee stature that no one out there is going to be willing to, value my time for, its full worth in my mind. And with that, the fact that I don't have to make that commitment to somebody, that I can choose in the morning to take that extra 30 minutes off the alarm, or even to take another hour if need be, as I did this morning, because still kind of worn from that workout on Wednesday. It was like a 2-day workout hangover here, that in the morning that my body just wasn't. My body needed more. It needed more relaxation, more recovery time, but I was able to give it that time. I didn't have to say, oh, I need to lay here for another hour, but I got to jump up and get out of this bed. Now, I'm not saying that I have random beginnings to my day every day. Like I say, for the most part, I'm up before that 6 o'clock alarm goes off, and I have a routine that I start and do my day with. But starting something new here, doing something physically different, it's thrown off my routine. But and it's created a situation where my body needs more recovery time. So what the point that I'm trying to make here is that I'm able to give it that recovery time because I have the freedom of owning my own time, which is what we talk about here in Swiss Go Global, is owning your life. And that really comes down to being the master of your own time, being able to choose what it is that your time, where your time needs to be invested. I won't say spent, where your time needs to be invested in this world. So that's what Swiss Go Global is all about. It's it's creating the ability for you to own your life again, so that you don't have to trade your time at a pittance of a value of a worth that's being set by someone else, telling you that your time is only has this much value when you know it has this much value, but you're willing to settle for that because what else can you do, right? Well, you can do this and you can own your life again. So with that, everybody, that's my Freedom Friday um, boost there. I hope that you get the whole sense of the value of your time and how trading your time to someone else, that they're placing a value upon it, is not at all giving you ability to own your life, and that something like Swiss Go Global is something that can actually give you the opportunity to own your life, to make the choices, to invest your time where you feel it's most important, not where someone else tells you that it's most important, that you have to be here at this hour and spend X amount of hours here because you've made a commitment to me to give me your time in exchange for this little bit of value. So everybody, Swiss Go Global, Wealth Health, go visit that. I would suggest actually go visit wealthhealth.freedomforlife. No, not Freedom for Life. What am I thinking? That's John. Go visit wealthhealth.realwealthrevolution. Go look at that one. That'll get you excited. And I hope to see you soon. With that, O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind, to whatever end I might desire. Freedom Friday, everybody. Enjoy your pinnacle and your celebration, and we'll see you back here